everyone. Scott Grossberg of ThinkingMagically.com, and it's time for us to spend another magic moment here together on the Hazy Radio Network. Have you ever been asked the age-old question, is the glass half full or half empty? In the real world, when someone sees a glass that is not full, do you know what they really think? Every time, without fail? We think, it is not full. We don't naturally process in terms of half full or half empty. So instead, let's focus on the magical principle. How you see something directly flows from what you choose to see, and what you choose to see directly flows from what you want to accomplish. If you choose to play the half-full, half-empty glass game, you are limiting your potential to two scenarios. Either the glass was empty but is not yet full, or the glass was once full but it isn't anymore. Most of the time, however, those perspectives have no real use if you want to move in the direction of your dreams. We don't have half-full or half-empty lives. Our lives are quite full all of the time. The real magic is that you get to control how you view your fullness. Here are 3 things you can do immediately to start living your life to the fullest. First, realize that what you want to see is the most important thing you can control. The most important thing for you to do is to determine ahead of time what you want to see in life. What you carry into life with you is what you will ultimately find. Second, you are always free to choose what you want to see. Everything you need to know about making a choice boils down to one simple strategy. Give yourself as many options as possible from which to choose. And finally, whatever you choose to see, it's all good. Just as you choose what movie or television show to watch, you get to choose what you see in everyday life. Enjoy the entertainment. I look forward to spending more magic moments with you next week. Until then, feel free to contact me through my website, ThinkingMagically.com, Facebook, Google+, or LinkedIn, and I will respond personally to your posts.
It's a popular notion that we are the sum product of our beliefs and experiences. These experiences have added to our burdens, subtracted from our pleasure, multiplied our problems, and divided our attentions. We control how events affect our lives. The key is knowing how to recognize and reassess your experiences so that they begin adding to your joy, subtracting from your fears, multiplying your freedom, and dividing your burden. Join Kimberly Simon for Revelations and discover a whole new way to do the math. Tuesday nights from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time on the Hazy Radio Network.
Whatever your worldview is, there's always the broader view with Hazy and Belle Salisbury. Let's get back to the show.
And welcome back to the broader view. And that was Sam Hankins with his new single, Are You Serious? Right here on the Hazy Radio Network. Sam, welcome back.
Oh, thank you, Zayden. Thank you.
Well, I was just kind of commenting during our break that we were chatting in the background of the comments that are going on in the chat room and how people are loving your music. Are you out on tour, or do you get out on tour at all?
At this moment, I'm not right now, but usually it's in the summer times where I usually get out. But I'm hoping to get out. I'm working on a small promotional tour somewhere up in the East Coast for right now. And so, just trying to get into typical, the jazz festivals and sing. And so, but yes, I do that.
Oh,
but,
good.
At this time, I'm not doing anything right now.
Yeah. So are you part of the Chicago Jazz Festival when they have them coming out? Did you get involved in that at all?
I have participated in the Chicago Jazz Festival. I have played, with, various artists there. But as a soloist, no, I haven't. Hopefully to conquer that mountain one day.
You will. You will. You will. I know you will. So
I'm being optimistic.
This is an optimistic show. We're just going to say you will, and you'll do this.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
When you go and put your own music together, do you hear being an artist of different instruments? You've got your trumpet, you've got the piano, you've got all the... Do you hear the whole ensemble together, or do you start out with one instrument and build from that?
I would say a combination of both. I think most majority things I hear all together. I just hear the whole, and sometimes I may just hear one rhythm where it's constantly one motive where it's just constantly going through my head, and I pretty much kind of lay things down a bit from there. So it's not always one way or the other when it comes to when I hear things or I'm composing music. Sometimes, I like to build on certain things. There are certain, techniques that you learn in school, especially in composition class, that, they, coming up, with motives, how to, compose. And so, sometimes I use those techniques as well. And like some of the composers back in good old days, this was very common for some composers, especially some jazz composers as well. When they run out of ideas, they go get the phone book, and they open the phone book, and whatever they point at it and stop, and numbers, and what relative to music, you have 8 notes, but in telephone numbers you have 7, so they may take those numbers. Those numbers represent certain pitches, and so you might just use that technique and just start with those numbers, and a lot of music has been written out of the phone book. So that's just one, composition technique to use when come up composing. So, it just kind of works both ways for me.
Okay, so a combination of, if you hear a phrase, or if you hear, even 1 or 2 words, can that trigger you into composing a song to it? As far as like an emotion or...
Yes. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. It's just I just hear it, and one thing leads to another, or something comes up, or a roadblock. It's like writer's block, and I may come to a block where just something is just not working. I can't put this part together, and so sometimes I just got to step back and walk away from it, and I come back in a couple days, boom, something may fit in there, and it may work, so, it's just, whatever I, hear, if I hear a couple things, I could probably do something with that and just take it a little further.
Yeah. When you go and compose your CD, can it take months, or can it take a year or more to put something like that together? Or does it vary between CDs?
Well, for me, I don't know. For others, I have other musicians, or writers, and it may take them, not that long, probably 3 to 6 months, or it may take them longer, maybe about a year. Like I say, it varies from each artist, and for me, I like to take my time. I don't like to sit here and rush and just to put something out there and throw out there and try to keep up with the Joneses.
Right.
I kind of move at my own pace, and usually, I usually give my music at least about a year, or 10 months up to a year being out. And from there, I may put out, just like I did right now, a new single, and then probably another 2 or 3 months put out another single. This is the way I work. My music in to the public, and hopefully by end of 12 months, a year, after putting out each tune every 2 or 3 months, there's my album. So then I just put it all together, and there's my album, and hopefully the public has been digging and everything, and
Yeah.
they can come out and buy it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So now that your second CD is out, and you are actually a working man, you're actually teaching music.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
how do you encourage your students if they want to pursue a musical career? Do you encourage them
Mm-hmm.
to follow their dream just as your parents encouraged you to follow theirs or follow yours?
Oh yeah, yeah. So that's something I push them each and every day. I try to be an example, and I was told by one of them, a very good friend of mine, as well as a trumpet teacher, who pretty much took me under his wing, and it's like, I really looked up to him and everything, and he told me a lot of good wisdom things, especially about this business and about music. That you're being passed, you've been given a gift here, and things I'm teaching you, I expect you to pass it on to others, because we can't hold on to this. We have to pass it on. I mean, hanging on to it doesn't do any good. I mean, you pass it on, so hopefully the next generation can pass it on and pass it on so the music can continue.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something that's always been instilled in me, as an educator, that, we've been given a gift, we've been given a talent, and I just want to use this talent, for others to appreciate, and also want to pass it on and teach it to others, because, things can be given to you and things can be taken away. And so I want to pass it on and have to keep growing. But like I said, yes, I do encourage my students
Absolutely
to follow their dreams, their passion.
And in saying that too, it's so incredible that even in today's age, where you have to fight to get to where you want to be, to get recognized in your music, there are so many
Mm-hmm.
roadblocks and there are so many stumbling blocks that you have to go through
Mm-hmm.
in order for your music to be heard. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
great that there are places out there like Music Submit or CD Baby where artists such as yourself can go out and promote your music and allow your music to be heard. And,
Right. Yeah.
Because there aren't a lot of avenues for you to go in. You just can't walk into a company and say, okay, sign me as your next greatest superstar, because it's just not going to happen.
Right. And like I said, that's the reality. I mean, back in, I guess you can say the 50s and 60s, when, groups would be singing on the streets and somebody walked by and say, I want to sign you up. And, those days, it doesn't work that way no more.
No.
And so, yes, you have a lot of competition, and, it all boils down to marketing. How well can you be marketable, and and the package, do you have it all? And so it's a lot of roadblocks, and especially the genre of music that you want to pursue, and how jazz, compared to every other genre of music, it's not one of the forefronts music is going, and so. But it's one thing you gotta deal with, and just keep pursuing that. Hopefully, that someone out here will like and enjoy what you enjoy, and believe in you, and want to see your music get further and further, and will come in and help. And basically that's what I'm doing. I'm just looking for a little help, a little push.
Well, that's what
music out, but.
Yep, that's what we're here for. I mean, we'll go ahead and help you do whatever we need to do to get your name out there. Now, you are found on Facebook, and you are on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and they can find your